Good evening, my lovelies, and welcome. I'm Lady Creepypasta. This evening, we don't have one, but two tales of horror by author JDeschene. Mind you, my loves, the second tale is definitely not a tale that's safe to be listened to out loud at work, and is also quite gory. This is a horror channel after all, but be forewarned. Let's dive into the first tale though, my dears. Come, lean in closer, and we'll begin. Hi, are you the new babysitter? That's cool. I think I'm too old for a babysitter, but whatever. It's better than being by myself, I guess. Oh, hey, look! It's almost time for my favorite show. You want to watch it with me? It's not one of those stupid kids shows. I'm a lot smarter than other kids. I like to learn grown-up stuff. That's why my favorite show is a cooking show. I always learn something new when I watch it. It's called Cooking with Irene. Irene is this really awesome lady. She's old and she has white hair and she reminds me of my Nana. My Nana died last year, but Irene is nice like she was. You'll see. She wears an apron and everything. She says it's really important to wear an apron when you cook because you can sometimes get really messy. Irene gets messy all the time. It's pretty funny. What channel? No, silly, it's not on the TV. It's on the computer. My mom and dad let me use the computer pretty much as I want because I learn stuff on there. They said it will help me in school. I guess it does. I don't really know. But that's where Irene's show is. At the beginning of every episode, she says, "Hello everyone, it's Irene here." And then she thanks us all for watching and for coming back again and again. And I guess people give her money and stuff because she thanks us for donations. And then she gets all excited and says, "Let's get cooking." So then these guys come out, right? They're like her assistants or whatever. They're big guys with really serious faces all the time. They don't really talk or do anything except what Irene tells them. And these guys bring on all the ingredients. That's what Irene calls them. They're people. Sometimes guys, sometimes ladies. They're all tied up and have their mouths covered. They always look really scared. I think it's because they know what's about to happen. So these guys bring them on and they put each one in a different cooker. That's what Irene calls the chairs that she uses. She puts a thing down on each ingredient's head. It looks like one of those metal bowls my Nana had. That's another thing that reminds me of her. She would make me cake using those bowls. I miss her cake. So then when each of the ingredients is in one of the cookers, Irene turns back to the camera and says, "Vote now." And you see the three choices with the numbers of the votes adding up under each one. After a while, someone will get the most votes, and then Irene will say, "Excellent choice," or something like that. And then she walks over to the one that got the most votes and tells them they've won. No one ever seems happy to be the winner. Next, she flips a switch and they get cooked. That's always my favorite part. They shake and move all crazy. There's smoke and sometimes fire. I love it. Irene says it always smells so good in there. I wish I could smell it. I bet it smells like my Nana's kitchen used to in Thanksgiving. Anyway, when the person's done cooking, Irene tells her assistants to bring out the dogs. That's one of the coolest things about the show, I think. Irene doesn't cook for people. She cooks for the dogs. The assistants bring out two really big dogs on chain leashes and they hold them steady until Irene gives the signal. When she yells for the dogs to be released, they run and jump all over the cooked ingredient. They tear the person to little pieces. It's really cool. You can see all the blood and stuff. And I think you can see muscles too. Sometimes even guts. The uncooked ingredients always wiggle around when the dogs are eating. And sometimes they get bitten too. It's always neat when that happens. See, I do learn a lot from this show. It's how I learned that dogs eat people. The sad part is that after the dogs eat, the show is pretty much all over. Irene says thanks for watching, and if we know of any fresh ingredients she should use, to let her know. I really wish it was longer. Oh well, I guess. Hey, what's the matter? You look all funny. You're not going to call me a liar, are you? I hate it when people call me a liar. That's what the last babysitter did. So I told Irene she should use her as an ingredient. It was cool because Irene wrote back real quick and asked me where she lived. I told her, and she must have liked her because my mom and dad couldn't get a hold of her this week to stay with me. That's why you're here. And now, my dears, the second tale. Be forewarned though, my dears, this tale is definitely not safe for work and is rather explicit. So, if that is not quite your cup of tea, feel free to peruse the rest of my realm. For the rest of you though, let's begin. What is it with guys and dick pics? They just can't resist sending them. You don't even have to ask most of the time. It's as if the human male has always had this innate urge to share images of his own cock with unwitting females and was just waiting for technology to catch up. Not that I'm complaining. This pride men have for their own junk suits me just fine. In fact, I love it. It's fun for me. There's always a jolt of excitement when my phone beeps and a dick pic sprawls across my screen. Hell, I ask for them in many cases, and these fuckboys are always happy to oblige. When a pic comes in, I stare at it, studying it for a good long while. I try to imagine the penis in full detail, as if it were right in front of me in all its glory. If one picture's not enough, well, that's no problem. I just ask for another. And if he's reluctant, I just send a flash of tit in return. No shame or bashfulness here. When my mental image is clear enough, I set to work. Wax is my favorite medium. There's just something about it, how it can be soft one minute and hard the next, not unlike the thing I'm using to build. As I melt it, I sprinkle in my usual mixture. A dash of this, a pinch of that. I say the usual words. They're fully memorized by now. They should be. I've done this enough times. Before long, my beautiful work of art stands fully erect in front of me. Often, I'll just take a moment to marvel. I've gotten so good at this. The veins, the texture of the skin, it's all so lifelike. I could probably make a career out of crafting wax sticks if I wanted to, but I don't. My dicks are more than art. Now the fun begins. I find a paring knife is best. It's just the right size for most of the cocks I deal with, and it affords me such wonderful precision. I say the last few words, and then I go in. My favorite first cut is to trace around the head. I know everything has worked perfectly when I see redness ooze from the incision and trickle down the shaft. It's liquid I never put there. Not by physical means, anyway. It's a sign that the work is being done. It's exciting and presses me further. Next, I drag the blade down the shaft all the way to the bottom. The sticky, messy crimson pool begins to spread. Its smell fills the air, metallic and sickly sweet. I'm practically high from it. The skin flays back so easily. Beneath it, a pulsating mass of flesh. You'd hardly believe I started with wax and herbs. It's amazing what you can accomplish with a little help from the right sources. In the locker room at work, I love to hear people talk. Another one, they say, completely destroyed his bits, and not one of them will say how it happened. It's always, I don't know. Well, I say, you know how male pride can be. We share a laugh. Some weird self-pleasure trend gone horribly wrong, they assume. All in a day's work at a busy urban hospital. But It never becomes routine to me. It never loses its thrill. My phone beeps before I head out of the locker room. It's a message from my latest right swipe. He sent me the pic I asked for. How delightful. Thank you for joining me this evening, my dears. Before we leave, a quick thank you to my dark family on Patreon: Laura Harp 66, Kira Powell, Oliver Dace, L. Andrew Augustus, Stephen Aguilera, Casey Eichenser, Tay DeFluth, and Bill Thornsley. If you'd like to join these beautiful ghouls in support of this YouTube channel and podcast, go to patreon.com/LadyMcCreepster for more information. Alas, my dears, that is all the time we have this evening. Till next time, sweet dreams.